What is up everyone, it is Sacred Saiyan here, welcoming you to the first episode of What If Goku and Gohan Were Trapped in the Time Chamber. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a bit different, it's because I have a cold, sorry about that. And I know what a lot of you will be thinking, why do an idea like this, and why now? But I just decided that since so many people did ask for it, and the trend has died down, I can do my own take on it, which will hopefully be unique to the rest. Anyways, if you end up liking today's video, then please consider subscribing. It is free, and you can always unsubscribe later. There's a link in the description of the video to my Discord server, and also to become a channel member if you want to support the channel. The highest channel member tier is called Royal Blue, so if you want to support me, then that is definitely the best way to do so. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the first episode of What If Goku and Gohan Were Trapped in the Time Chamber. This video begins in the Cell Saga. Goku and Gohan have entered the Time Chamber in order to train to fight against the bio-android Cell. However, this is where events in the timeline shift. After Goku and Gohan exit the Time Chamber for the first time, Goku goes to gauge the power of Cell, and quickly realises Cell's power far surpasses his own, and most likely surpasses Gohan's as well. And in this timeline, Goku decides they need to go back into the Time Chamber for the extra year in order to make up for this gap in power. Vegeta would protest, saying him and Trunks should go in the Time Chamber again first, which Goku would allow. So after another day passes, and both Trunks and Vegeta exit, Goku and Gohan re-enter, and continue their training. Throughout this year, Goku is aiming to help Gohan reach that new power he saw Gohan nearly access before, and by the end of the year, Gohan is just on the cusp of it. And with this distracting both Goku and Gohan, they don't pay attention to the time they have left, and without them realising it, they surpass their time limit, and the exit to the Time Chamber disappears. On the outside, the Z Fighters are awaiting Goku and Gohan's return. They assume the extra amount of time they are taking is due to them leaving a couple months earlier originally, but they are starting to get worried. They shouldn't be taking this long. Piccolo has had enough of the suspense, so he goes to the Time Chamber door and opens it, shouting to ask what's taking Goku and Gohan so long. But Piccolo then looks and realises that the only thing behind the door was a wall. Piccolo turns to Popo, asking what is going on, and Popo says that they must have gone over the time limit. Piccolo shouts at Popo, asking what that means, and Popo says that means the door to the Time Chamber has closed, and they are locked in it, trapped. All the Z Fighters have shocked and terrified expressions on their faces, thinking they are doomed, but future Trunks tells them to hold on. Can't they gather the new set of Dragon Balls Dende made and wish them back? Dende says that they can try, but he doesn't even think Porunga would have the power to cross the dimensional barrier between themselves and Goku and Gohan. Piccolo says that they have to try, so the Z Fighters go off to gather the Dragon Balls, but this entire time, Vegeta has been standing on the lookout, silent, with his head down, clenching his fists so tightly that they begin to bleed. A short time passes, and the Dragon Balls have been gathered on the lookout. Dende summons Shenron, and from the Cell Games arena, Cell sees the sky suddenly turn dark, and looks in the direction of Kami's lookout as he blasts off into the sky. Back on the lookout, Dende wishes to bring both Goku and Gohan to their location, but Shenron simply says that it's not within his power. Bulma begins crying, and future Trunks goes to comfort her. Krillin has his head in his hands, and the rest of the Z Fighters look down somberly. However, they don't get a moment of grief, as Cell touches down on the lookout, and within an instant, a death beam is shot through Dende's chest, and Shenron disappears. Cell has a serious expression, asking if they really thought they could get rid of him with the Dragon Balls, but nobody even reacts. Their thoughts are elsewhere. Cell darts his eyes around the lookout, asking where Son Goku and his brat are hiding, but Bulma screams at Cell, saying that they're gone, trapped inside that stupid chamber, as she points at the entrance to the Time Chamber. Cell begins to laugh, but not out of happiness. He is laughing out of frustration. So, they are telling him the one person that gave his life excitement, that he thought would actually be able to entertain him even for a short time, isn't even here anymore, then he is no use for any of them. Cell shoots a death beam through Bulma, which goes through Trunks at the same time. Cell then swipes his hand, and the entire surface of the lookout explodes, killing all of the other Z Fighters. The only things remaining being the door to the Time Chamber and Vegeta. Cell says that he's surprised Vegeta survived that attack, but Vegeta doesn't respond, finally unclenching his fists as blood pours to the ground, and his hair turns golden with electricity sparking around him. Vegeta never got the chance to surpass that stupid clown. Vegeta even started caring about that stupid Earth family of his, and Cell just took it away. But worst of all, Cell wounded his pride. So, he thinks Goku could be the only one to entertain him? Well, Let's see how well Cell can keep the Prince of all Saiyans entertained. Cell smirks, about to speak, but before he can, Vegeta is already in front of him and lands a punch to the side of his jaw before uppercutting him into the air. Vegeta then flies above Cell and slams him back into the lookout before powering up a final flash which he fires down at the bio android. Cell screams as the blast hits him head on and he's completely eviscerated, and Vegeta begins laughing like a crazy person. However, while he is laughing, we can see a single tear fall to the surface of the lookout. Vegeta's face then turns to one of pure pain as he looks down at his chest and sees Cell's arm going straight through it. Vegeta then hears Cell's voice behind him, complimenting Vegeta. He was able to defeat his clone with 50% of his power. Good job. He may have even surpassed the power he sensed Goku wielded. But they both know Goku was suppressing his energy. Vegeta coughs out blood, and Cell asks if the prince has any last words. Vegeta simply smiles, saying the clown will come back, but until then, he'll save Cell a spot in hell. Cell says that if Goku does return, he'll fill that spot for him, and then he completely obliterates Vegeta, killing the final Z fighter at last. Cell decides to not destroy the planet, thinking Vegeta may be right, and if so, he does want to wait for Goku's return, but until then, he will torment the Earth's populace. Cell first flies to Mount Paozu, knocking on the door of Goku's home, with Chi-Chi opening it, and having an expression of fear on her face as she sees Cell towering over her. Cell outstretches his hand, saying it's not personal, but from his experience, the death of loved ones makes a Saiyan stronger, and he wants Goku to be as strong as possible for their perfect reunion if he returns. Cell then destroys Mount Paozu in its entirety, and goes on to terrorise the entire planet, destroying cities and taking pleasure in the fear of civilians, though this feeling is fleeting, as he knows the only thing that will satisfy him is Goku's return. We now head inside the time chamber. Gohan just unlocked Super Saiyan 2, and now the Saiyan jury know that they are ready to kill Cell. The two Saiyans go to leave the time chamber, but then are confused as the door is gone. Gohan begins panicking, but Goku tries to calm him down, saying he's sure the others will use the Dragon Balls to wish them out, which does slightly help Gohan calm down, but he is still anxious. The pair wait days, weeks, lightly sparring and hoping they'll be taken out of this realm, but eventually they realise nobody is coming for them. This will begin to break the pair mentally. Gohan more so, since he's just a kid, and Goku has to try comfort him throughout all of this time. Goku tries his best to distract his son in the only way he knows how, fighting. Day in, day out, their pair train. There's nothing else they can really do. It takes about a year for Goku to reach Super Saiyan 2 himself, and this ramps up their training. By that time, Gohan only needs to use Super Saiyan in order to stalemate his father. Another couple years of training pass, and Goku reaches Super Saiyan 3. The only reason Gohan was unable to achieve this himself is because of his lack of drive to keep training. For Goku, training every day like this is a dream come true, but for Gohan, it's hell. The only thing that keeps him going is the thought of his mother and Mr. Piccolo, and his father being there to comfort him whenever he breaks down. 14 years have passed, only 2 weeks on the outside world. Gohan now looks identical to his future counterpart, and Gohan in Mastered Super Saiyan 2 is unequal to his father in Mastered Super Saiyan 3. But Gohan should be far stronger than even that if he didn't lose his will to train. Goku and Gohan get ready for another day of training, but Gohan finally snaps. He decides to let out a scream of pain, but to the shock of Goku and Gohan, this is exactly what they needed to escape. The scream from Gohan created a portal through space-time, and they saw the lookout on the other side. Goku quickly grabs Gohan as they jump through the portal, and the second they do, Cell senses two ginormous energies emerge. Cell smirks, saying the prince was right after all, as he flies up to the lookout once again. Goku and Gohan look around, seeing what remains of the lookout, and wondering what happened. Gohan walks over to a small piece of white cloth on the ground, and picks it up, turning it over, and seeing a purple bloodstain on it. Gohan's eyes begin to swell up with tears, and Goku then frantically asks why he can't sense anyone's energy. Gohan then blasts off, Goku asking where he's going, but Cell lands on the lookout straight after Gohan leaves, and interrupts him. Cell begins laughing, saying at last he decided to show up. He may be a week or so late, but better late than never. We head to the remnants of Mount Paozu, Gohan landing on the scorched ground, still grappling onto the white cloth he found on the lookout. Gohan sees some bricks on the ground where his house should be, and he sees a bit of dirt with red on it at the centre. Gohan drops the cloth onto the ground, tears flooding from Gohan's eyes as he lets out a roar of rage and grief. For those entire 14 years, he was thinking of the day he'll be able to reunite with Mr. Piccolo, with his mother, and this chance has been taken away from him. Gohan's hair turns golden as his pupils fade. He is engulfed by a blue and yellow aura as his rage overcomes him, and back on the lookout, Cell is smirking as him and Goku sense what just happened while the entire planet is shaking. Goku simply has one question: what did Cell do? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then make sure to like, comment, and please do subscribe. It is quick and easy to do. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to Boldemir Garcia, Mega Exo, Camo Ren, and Jonathan Way for becoming channel members. If you want to be shouted out at the end of a video, and given perks like the channel members here, then there is a link in the description down below to become a channel member. It greatly supports me, and it helps me immensely. With all of that out of the way, I hope to see you all in the next episode of What If Goku and Gohan Were Trapped in the Time Chamber.